迦牟尼佛具有大慈大悲，他看到了众生所具有的一个痛苦，他出自于他这种对于有情众生难忍的一个悲心，因此为我们开示了佛法，宣说众生具有这些痛苦。那这些痛苦是由什么方面而来的呢？苦并不是没有原因就产生的，苦也不是说它是由与苦相颠倒的原因而产生的，比如说由种善业而得到苦果，不会这样子。然后呢，苦呢也并不是说它的原因是缺一个，然后呢它就产生了，它必须要它的原因都要具足，它才能够产生。比如说先有无明我执，后有呢贪嗔痴三毒的这个烦恼，然后呢决定了我们造业，然后产生这样痛苦。这因素呢都是完整具足的，不是说我们光有一个，然后呢我们就会产生无边痛苦，并不是的。所以佛照见了这些道理之后，很清清楚楚的为我们众生开示，然后希望众生了解到这个道理之后，能够远离造作痛苦的这个因素。所以我们说这些痛苦呢是由我们造业而来，那造种种的一个恶业，而这个恶业呢是出自于我们的贪嗔痴，然后在我们的身语意三门上反映出各种各样的恶业。所以像前面所讲的十不善业，还有更重的，比如说杀父杀母这些五奸罪啊，那这些呢就是我们产生痛苦的一个因素。佛以他的如所有智，还有尽所有智，就以他的一个智慧呢，照见了这些事物的道理之后，然后为我们宣说如何消灭这些痛苦，要从因上来着手。而这种道理并不是佛教的佛弟子所独享的，独自享受这样的一个道理，而是只要是任何一个人了解到这个道理，或是任何一个有情，他能够按照这个道理去做，他就能够离开这些痛苦，获得安乐。这是全世界一切有情众生普遍共享的一个道理。所以吉田松公说，在正法一第一句里头说了，诸法皆是法性之实相。诸法呢，就是佛所宣说的一切法，它都是要揭露出来法性的实相。这个法性实相就是世界的到底的一个实在的一个情况是如何，世间出世间最根本的一种情况是如何，然后我们如何去从中脱离这些痛苦，得到种种安乐。这都是佛他宣说佛法的一个目的，他呢就是为了要把最真实的一个情况告诉我们。所以我们说佛法之所以珍贵呢，并不是因为我们在赞叹它，所以说它变成珍贵，而是它能够清楚的讲出了因果的这个道理，而且这个道理是真的，因为它是真的，所以显得珍贵。所以佛说的一个方法，并不是一种风言风语脑筋烧坏掉的人说的，也并不是一种世间没有意义的话，它是能够真正把真实的状况告诉我们的一个内容。所以说造作恶业能够产生痛苦，那这种痛苦也并不是我们说一点小小的痛苦，不是像说一个火花沾到皮肤上的痛苦，也并不是一个针刺在皮肤上的一种痛苦。那种痛苦是地狱这种24小时持续燃烧的这种业火的一种痛苦。如果说我们自己在明白这个道理之后，还去造这样的一个恶业，让我们产生堕落到地狱的恶业的，这个我们明知还去造，明知故犯的话，那就是自己在毁灭自己，自己把自己放到最艰难的一个环境里头。所以我们说这里说面对到这个三恶趣的一个状况，我们了解之后，我们不去造这个恶业，去听从佛所说的一个开示去做的话，那这是一个修持佛法，尤其是修持大乘法所应该做的一个修为。
So there are many more details regarding refuge, but since time is limited, so we go to the next verse. The subduer said that all the unbearable suffering of the three lower realms is the fruition of wrongdoings. Therefore, never committing negative deeds, even at the peril to one's life, is the bodhisattva's practice. Samsara is a state of suffering. And talk about the three lower realms. The three lower realms are hell realms, hungry ghost realm, and also animal realms. Actually, everywhere in the six realms everywhere in the sixth realm has these three lower realms. Is only through liberation, one attain liberation, then we are out of these three lower realms. But normally we divided the sixth realm into three higher and three lower realms. In order to distinguish the three higher realms, there are advantage. Three higher realms, 怎么样? The three higher realms the three lower realms is pure suffering, is only suffering. The three higher realms is relatively better. So that's why there's this distinguish between higher and lower realms. So the hell realms consists of 8 hot realms and 8 cold realms. And the details can be read in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation. So normally, when we suffer, we don't like to hear about this hot realm, cold realm. When we read about it, we get frightened because of this terrible suffering. So normally, when we, for example, have a small kind of suffering, like our skin we have some wound in our skin, and we because of the wound we have pain and we feel unbearable. And but if one is in hell realms, the kind of pain and suffering is like so many times much more. So it is also 24 hours of unceasing, terrifying suffering. So it makes us frightened. So hungry ghost realm. When we describe the hungry ghost realm, then for example, like if we just not eat 1 or 2 meals, so we feel very hungry. But if you can imagine that for those being in the hungry ghost realm, is like for 12 years without even hearing a word for food and eating. So they constantly are tortured by this hunger. So the suffering is inconceivable. So, for the suffering in the hell realm and the hungry ghost realm, we can read about them in books. In reality, it's very difficult to see those beings, how they suffer. So for now, we talk about the animal realms. Animal realms, they suffer because of their stupidity. They create a lot of suffering because of that. So, for example, if someone wants to kill them, they don't know how to escape. They don't have the wisdom to escape. They don't know how what is virtue, not is one virtue. So they keep, because of stupidity, they keep committing non-virtuous deeds. And also on top of that, human being, because human beings desire to eat the meat of the animal, so they also suffer a great deal. So this kind of suffering for suffering from the animals, we can see it, observe it from like movies, TVs, and how they suffer. They capture how they suffer. For example, like how the animal they kill each other, even among each other. How the big fish is eating the small fish, and so that kind of suffering they have. And also even human being, how they kill animals, and sometimes they use it for not just for meats, they use it for skin and for like horns or different things. And sometimes they torture the animal in a very inhuman way, where they try to make just in order that human being want to eat the meat more tasty, more delicious. So they torture them in a very unbearable way, make them suffer unnecessarily. So we can observe those suffering. So Shakyamuni Buddha have a great compassion after he completely liberated from suffering. He have great compassion. He understand the unbearable suffering the sentient beings have. So out of this great compassion, Shakyamuni Buddha teach the Dharma, and try to help us to understand what is suffering and what are the causes of suffering. So suffering does not arise because of no cause. It always arises with causes. And also it will not arise because of the wrong cause. It always arises the causes that is according to that. And also it will not arise out of incomplete causes. So if something have causes and conditions, then it will arise. When we have sufficient causes and conditions, then it will arise. Due to the ignorance we have, and as a result, so the influence of the three poisons, desire, hatred, and the ignorance, we commit a lot of negative deeds, create a lot of negative karma. We create through our body, speech, and mind. So in the Dharma, it clearly explained to us, understand these causes and how it is created through our body, speech, and mind. And the non-virtuous deeds, even like we talk about the non-virtuous deeds through the body, speech, and mind before, and sometimes people commit 5 heinous crimes, and they create become terrible causes of suffering. And the Buddha who have attained Buddhahood and have this the primordial wisdom, who know everything, how it is, and know everything, and explain the causality, the law, universal law, how universally abide, how things are abide in the nature of causality. So it is not just this principle apply universally. It not just limits to the Buddhist. So Jiten Sumgum said that when the Buddha explained the Dharma in such a way that it is explaining the universal law, is actually how it operates in reality, so that we have a chance, opportunity to know how to liberate from that. So that is why Dharma is very precious. It's precious not because someone said that it is precious, it says that it is precious, but because it clearly explains universally how the nature in samsara works, and because of that, it is the reality. So that's why it explains in such a way that explain the reality. That's why it is precious. So it is not. Dharma is not just something that just an talk about it. It's just some idle talk. Someone mentioned something and not reality, but this is something that is actually happening. The reality. So then, if we understand how this works and how reality is, and through the Dharma we understand clearly that the causes of suffering, and the suffering, and also the suffering in the lower realms, hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realms, and so on. If we know clearly the suffering, and we know about it, and if we still continue to commit negative deeds, then it's self-destructive. We are destroying ourselves. So in order to avoid to experience the suffering in the three lower realms, we should not do any negative deeds. We should follow the Dharma.
Okay, any questions? Yes.
Yes, so yesterday you were talking about attachment. There was a fourth verse and it appeared in the text already, and maybe it's just basic question, but I wanted to clarify the meaning of the attachment.
Attachment.
Yes, and how to distinguish it between other states, wishes, for example, love. So the question is more about that it's harmful to be attached to the family, friends, houses, and possessions, for example. But one may think that he is not attached. He is like a pure practitioner, but in reality he is attached. So how you can distinguish whether you're attached or not?
Yes. Attachment is like what you say. Attachment to, like say, family, friends, and attachment to the Dharma practice. So you are saying, what's the difference? The difference is, you see, is based on the reason. Reason means when you have wisdom or don't have it. See, wisdom means knowing what you are doing, not emotional way, See, so as I mentioned also a few times, sometimes when you talk about this, about attachment to your family or friends or this, when we in the Dharma say don't attach to these, some people have some kind of misunderstanding. Means like don't care, that is kind of like a little misunderstanding. See, it doesn't mean don't care. As a Dharma practitioner, especially Maya Dharma practitioners. So we have to study, practice to attain Buddhahood for all sentient beings, as is mentioned. That means that your family, friends, everyone is included, even including enemies, what's called, So here attachment means basically for your self-interest. See, to fulfill your own desire. Then you attach to that. See, for example, if you find such a delicious cake, like a cheesecake, so you're so interested. See, so I want this. So that kind of say attachment is not healthy, because your whole the attention of your emotion is directed to that subject. And then see, first we say, then you see, like for example, if you don't get it, then you suffer. So certainly if somebody takes this away, if somebody just away, then you are so angry. So where you are taking this cake, I'm really interested, you are furious because of the attachment. So that kind of attachment causes the anger. See, even though they are totally opposite, see, your attachment and the anger, aversion, completely they are opposite, But when there's attachment, then there's a kind of this very direct cause to give rise to anger or aversion. So these two, you see, they two will pull back and forth, and that brings the suffering. That's the base of the ignorance. See, if there's no ignorance, there's no reason to rise attachment. When there's no attachment, then there's no reason to rise the aversion. See, so that's what it means. So, but you should care so much about your family, friends, providing what they need, helping them to grow. See, that's the very important point. So because of that reason, you are attached to the Dharma. So Dharma makes sense. It gives me great wisdom. And because of this great wisdom, if I practice, apply, and if I get more wisdom, then I can help better, more to others. I have more resource, So through this study, practice of Dharma, then allow us to get rid of all the self-interest, attachment, aversion, delusions. Through that, one can become Buddha. Then, if one becomes the Buddha, has every resource to help others. So I think this is just basic difference. Do you agree? Okay. Any questions? Time is over now. we have to abide the timetable, please take a deep breath and exhale. So please appreciate that today we got an opportunity to reflect on these precious Dharma teachings. And feel some Dharma makes sense, so I must follow more study, practice. So this is something that requires in the world. Actually, everybody needs this, but only few of us have this opportunity. So appreciate, rejoice. With this, then we say some dedication prayers. Konchog Gyaltshen Rinpoche Thank you, everybody.